This is KCR, the sound of state.
And we are on. Hey everybody, this is KCR College Radio. You're listening to the award-winning Sound of State here at San Diego State University. For those of you who live on campus or in the San Diego area, you can tune in at AM 1610. For everybody else, you can tune in at kcrlive.com, or if you have iOS or Android devices, go ahead and go to your app store and download the TuneIn app. Just search up TuneIn app and KCR College Radio, and you can look us up on there and you can tune in there. We are always worldwide 24/7 on there as well. And you can also follow us on all the social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, at KCR College Radio. I am your host for this evening, Tishamora, and this is my entertainment talk show, Tishtalk, where each week I go ahead and choose a topic in entertainment, grab some of my friends, talk about it for about the hour, and if you guys send me any questions, topics, concerns, whatever, I can address them on the show. You can go ahead and tweet me at KCR Tishtalk, that is KCRTISH Talk. I am also on Instagram, Facebook. I am also on YouTube. And if you go on YouTube, you can listen to all the other shows I've done during the summer and last semester. With that being said, speaking of that, I completely forgot to grab the audio file from the last show. So my first show of the semester is not up on there. I will be putting that up hopefully by the end of this weekend along with this recording. So if you guys want to be on YouTube and be on my YouTube channel, go ahead and tweet at me. Or if you guys want, we also have a studio phone. It's 619-594-6982. You guys can call whenever you'd like and talk with us a little bit on the air, and that'd be really cool. So for tonight, we are going to be talking about book versus movie / show adaptations. Last week, I talked about the movie It, the new movie 2017 It, so we'll kind of touch a bit on that. We'll kind of delve more into the world of, do we prefer books? Do we prefer movies? Should the two just kind of not meld in with each other? Obviously, Hollywood thinks otherwise, considering that a lot of their movies kind of come from that era, I guess. But with that being in mind, that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. If you guys want us to answer any topics or questions, comments, or whatever about that topic, like I said, go ahead and tweet me at Tishtalk, KCR Tishtalk, and we'll hopefully get it on air. So for tonight, my guests, plural guests, there's two, are, if you've listened to my show before, you might have heard them before. For one, this is the first time she's going to be in the live studio, and another has been here one too many a times. I am welcoming to the stage Cameron Laufer and Paola Ruano. Say hi, guys.
Hi guys.
Oh, okay. So Paola, Cameron knows the drill, but basically what I have my guests do is come on, obviously give your name, where you guys hail from, considering you guys hail from, yes, in terms of school. Where do you guys come from school, since you guys are both not from SDSU, and I guess what you guys are up to now. So.
Okay, I'll start. Hi, I'm Cameron. I just graduated from NYU. Not just, actually. It's been like 5 months now. Anyways.
You graduated this year.
Yes, I did. And I hail from San Diego. And
I meant more the school.
Currently hunting for a job. It's been a long Easter egg hunt. Looking for, like, something. So.
Little something.
Little something. A lot of interviews, nothing coming back. So, we'll see. And then pass it along.
My name is Paola, and I hail from San Diego. I don't know what you're talking about.
Dare you, first of all.
But for the last 4 years, I went to the University of Pennsylvania, and right now I'm working for the Washington Post.
Ooh.
But all
Yes,
opinions on this show do not reflect anything of the Washington Post.
Wapo.
Wapo.
Wa-
Wapaola.
Wow,
Oh,
pow,
no. Wapo, no.
Wapo, no, wapo, pow.
Wapao.
Yes.
Never mind.
Never mind. Okay. So I guess the first thing I kind of want to talk about, since I kind of mentioned it, Paula and I kind of talked about it a little bit on the way here.
We did?
A little bit. We kind
A
of
little
talked
bit of it?
a little bit of it. Surprisingly enough, Floribel had some pretty good puns, and I sat here kind of like listening, like, oh, okay, they're good, but I'm like, oh, puns.
Anyway.
So, Paula, you told me that you watched the original, correct?
Yes, but that was back when I was 7, 8.
So you're a youngin.
And I was like mentally scarred, so I blocked a lot of it out. So I can't
Cam,
really
did you?
comment.
Yes, not the original. I saw the
The new one.
yeah.
Okay, so like me, you didn't read the original and you did not watch the original first film adaptation of it.
I did not.
No. Okay. So a lot of the commentary I got, at least with the newest adaptation of it, was that, well, one, there's a time jump.
Mhm.
So
80s instead of 1950s.
80s instead of 50s. And
I feel
there
like I'm
were
yelling
some...
into this mic.
You're fine. So there's some like creative liberties that were taken for the story to take place in the 80s, which is like fine, but there's some things that were removed.
Right.
We didn't talk about it last time because we weren't really sure if we could talk about it, but I think it's something we should talk about in this episode just because I think what a lot of film adaptations do is obviously like they either expand on the content and put more things because it needs to last 2 hours or the hour of the show or whatever, or they take out creative liberties because it's a little outdated, i.e. there was a very sexual scene in it and these are kids.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, what's your take on that? Do you guys... I'm not a super, like, hardcore Stephen King fan, so for me, it doesn't really affect me, and I'm kind of glad that they did not include that in the movie, but some of them are like, why isn't this in... It doesn't, like, play true to the original content, but it wasn't even in the original first adaptation of it either. So, like, what's your guys' take? Do you guys prefer that they stick to, like, the script and, like, follow the story verbatim, or you don't mind different creative liberties being taken?
I think because I didn't read the book, I mean, just in
general.
I preferred. I know, but what I'm saying is like, I wasn't this hardcore fan of it before seeing the movie, so it didn't bother me that they altered that scene or just removed it from the film adaptation. And I liked what they added in lieu of that, which is that the boys help Beverly clean up her bloody bathroom.
Oh, so that wasn't in the original
No,
first
there's
one?
been a lot of think pieces, I think. At least I believe it's not in the book. And they said that that's kind of cool because you see kind of more of like the friendship of her with the Losers Club. And so I enjoyed
Which
that.
I like. I'm so here for Losers Club. Like,
Sorry.
I really am. Okay, so we don't... what do you think, Paola?
I feel like as long as it doesn't distract from the storyline, it's fine. I can understand why they wouldn't want to include that with Hollywood, especially since was it rated R?
Yes.
Was it what?
Rated R.
Yeah.
Yeah, rated R movies
Yeah,
in the
they
first
had
place.
to.
Like usually they could do really well or they could do really poorly. Sometimes like they try to take things out just to be enough for PG-13 so they would make more money. So like that was already a risk to be rated R. And putting that in is also a risk for like people not going. It's just too much.
Yeah.
So I can understand the mentality behind it. And as someone who is not the biggest fan of horror, I can appreciate that if I wanted to go see it, my friends forced me to.
So what we're hearing is if we force you to go tonight, you'll be okay with...
I thought we were getting burritos.
Okay, never mind. We can multitask.
Never mind.
Burritos.
Terrible puns.
Stop. You should have seen me like last show. I was just gonna sit in here and every time she'd say something I'm like,
As long
What
as
was
it's
I saying?
Mexican, I'm
No,
good.
Floribel, stop it.
I'm glad I didn't have you on my show last week.
Anyways.
Just kidding. So, but when applying that in terms of like general book movie adaptation, like for example, all three of us have watched and read Harry Potter. like
Yes.
everything, right?
Yeah.
Actually, I do have a question about that too, and I'll get to that later. But like, do we think the movie is set up with the books on par? Obviously,
No.
I'm assuming a lot of us think book or movie. Obviously, that's the first question. I think
Book.
I mean, yeah,
book.
the book.
Yeah. But what do you think about the movies?
I think they did a good job.
They're very visually pleasing.
I mean, I watched them recently too, and I was amazed actually that a lot of them held up. You know, some of the CGI of like the first two films is dated now.
I
but
mean, yeah, but
But they were very
during their time though, that was pretty
pretty
good.
advanced.
Yeah.
And I still think that they look decent, especially like films after the third one, Prisoner of Azkaban. Just that style that they adopted, it still looks contemporary today. So
Yeah, definitely.
but that's not really about the adaptation. Sorry, I derailed it.
But they were very like the first few books, they were very, very dedicated to the
Yeah.
original content. I read the book after I read not read the movie. After I watched the movie
I read
again,
the movie.
after I watched the first movie again, I read the first book again, and I was surprised by how much of the content in the movie was exactly the same.
Really?
Yeah,
And which movie was this? The second?
the first one.
The first one.
Yeah, it was literally like line by line. I was like, oh yeah, this happened, this happened, this
Maybe
happened.
because like they were like because the book series had started before the movies, obviously. So maybe they're kind of like super aware of the fact that like fans are like, it needs to be like I want to see this world come to life and be perfect.
Well, it also helps that the first book was, I think, the shortest book out of
Yeah.
all of them.
Definitely wasn't the shortest.
Very, very short, especially in comparison to Deathly Hallows.
Yeah.
Which is,
So, on the topic of Deathly Hallows, a friend of ours from the We Stay Late podcast on the Slack, hey Josh, it's at Abang Pinoy asks, do you think that the I can
oh,
read.
no.
I'm a radio host. Do you think that the decision to split Deathly Hallows into two parts for the film adaptation was the right choice?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, you agree.
Wow. And obviously we've seen this before with, I think Twilight did it for their last one for Breaking Dawn, and then Hunger Games again for, what's the last movie called? I don't remember.
Catching Fire?
Was it Mockingjay?
Mockingjay. Catching Fire,
Fire
second
was
one.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So there hasn't really, outside of those big fandoms, there haven't been other movies that have done that. Well, with the exception of It now, but the original adaptation was 3 installments anyways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That one makes sense because
Yeah.
it's such a big time jump and it's too much material. The book is big.
I mean, considering that, like, what, Harry Potter, how many years from the first to the last? It's a lot. Like
Oh, you mean?
10
in
years?
terms of, like, time.
Yeah, it's
It's
7 years.
7 years?
Is it just 7
I
years,
think
or
it's
is it a little
7
bit
years
more?
in
seven.
school.
Well, yeah, but, like, do we really count the last year as, like, a year of school, considering half of it was them off searcing for?
Yeah, but it was like
Horcruxes?
in a school year.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, yes. I guess. Oh no, this is. I don't want to update my computer. That's not okay. Cool. Okay. Well, Josh and some other people from the Slack have left other questions, and we will get to those later. Outside, I'm trying to think of like other book to movie adaptations that have been successes, and then we'll kind of get to the.
Oh, let's talk about
False.
Divergent.
I never watched that series, and I never read it.
It was a great movie series.
Was it a good book series at least?
It was a great book series. The last book was okay, but
Really?
I really enjoyed it.
I'm trying to think of. Oh, okay.
Lord
Actually,
of the Rings.
Yeah, that was
that is
It's a very
one.
successful
Game of
adaptation.
Thrones also.
But I
books and
heard,
TV.
from what I heard recently, so what, there's like 6 books out. 6 books?
Of what?
Of Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah.
I don't read them, but I heard, like, just because I had for those of you who are listening, I work at a Barnes & Noble. I had a customer last night or the other day asking about the 7th one. And I think he was thinking that with the seasons, because how many seasons are there?
Questionable.
There's 7.
7. So I think he was thinking that the books coincide with the season number.
No, now they're ahead.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I had to tell him. Like, well, no, he never got to finishing the last book. The show is officially ahead. And that's
Yeah.
even, like, I don't even know if that's going to follow what's going to be in the books from now on. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a really good example of, like, book to movie adaptation.
Let's
Lord
book
of the
the
Rings,
TV
definitely.
series.
Or-
really,
yeah.
I really enjoy book to TV series because I really
Yes.
feel like it has more of an opportunity to really delve into like the backgrounds and into the motivations of the characters. It's really hard to take a book and make it into a 2-hour movie.
Unless
Even
it's like a
less-
standalone, I would say. Not like a series.
Yeah.
Even that though, I think if it's a standalone book, they're turning them into shows, and like 2 successful adaptations of this year. I haven't watched
13 Reasons Why.
13 Reasons Why.
That's one.
Handmaid's
Just haven't
Tale.
watched it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Handmaid's
then
Won some
it's just
awards
one book.
last week, didn't they?
What?
Handmaid's Tale. Did they win some Emmys?
Yeah,
Yes,
they won
they
a lot
did.
of Emmys.
Yeah.
They
It's just
won Best
one-
Drama.
Right.
Really? I
Mhm.
heard they're really good.
But so like that's one book, and then
Mhm.
they're gonna make multiple seasons beyond the book.
Yeah.
And then American Gods is kind of the same thing.
Yes,
too.
that's actually what I want to talk about. And then really quick,
never mind.
I just want to thank Victoria and Roma because you guys basically answered her question where she asked like, do
Oh.
TV adaptations fare off better than the movie?
I think it's better than. I personally think it's better than movies.
yeah, I'd say
Especially
definitely.
like when 13 Reasons Why the book was kind of flat when it came to character development, but with the TV show they took each character and kind of like went into their backgrounds and see like what their motivations were for their actions, and I felt like I learned a lot more than with the book, and I really enjoyed that.
About like outside characters and not just her story.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think what the original book is like first person from her, right?
From him,
Oh, from him. Oh, okay. Okay.
from in play,
Yeah.
the Earth.
Did you guys watch?
I read the book and I watched the series.
It took me a second. I'm like, what? Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, usually you enjoy series like Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, because you learn so many details, so many things about the characters, and that's something you lose with movies. But then, the 13 Reasons Why, as an example, that was a standalone book, one book, so you didn't really get that opportunity to really like learn so much, especially since they like introduced so many characters. But then once you put it into a series, like you get the things that you wanted from the book. You get all the details, you get all the information.
I would say a good example of that too is if you look at all of the like the superhero shows. Like look at CW and all their DC shows. They're doing fantastic. Our friend Kevin would be like, "Oh, what was that? What was that?" I would say that like Marvel isn't doing a good job, with the exception of the Netflix series. Like their Agents of Shield, their Inhuman series.
Oh, I heard Inhumans.
I heard
terrible.
Inhumans tanked, and that depresses me, but also doesn't surprise me because it just what they were doing with the show, just not as in like an IMAX thing. It just didn't look right to me, and I was like, ugh. And the fact that originally they were like, oh, it's gonna be a movie, and then they took it off the movie list. Oh, it's gonna be a series, and then they took it off the series list. And, oh, it's gonna be IMAX, and they're like,
I still don't understand.
yeah. It didn't do well, but in terms of like Marvel, their successes you can see primarily in the Marvel Netflix series. So since they have like Daredevil and they have Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and now Defenders, and then following up is Punisher, like what's nice like that they're turning it into like the long TV series is that they, like you said, they get to delve into more of the details, and it's kind of nice because Netflix, at least with Marvel, they get to delve into specifically that character. It was what they did, at least with Daredevil season 1. It's like just that person's character, and then they kind of like open it up a little bit more, and you can kind of see that in CW too, with like Flash and Arrow and Supergirl. But I would say those kind of melded in a lot faster with each other. So I guess that's like the thing that like TV shows don't really have over movies is like you can't really do that without a super big budget or I guess like really, really, I'd say like a very long production line.
You have
would
to have
agree.
a giant plan.
Yeah, like huge.
Like you have to like
or
know
a
like
flop.
what you're getting into before.
I think the financing of like a movie, because the budget can stretch from like $100 to $200 million, it allows for kind of like an epic film. So any fantasy or like action series can be adapted into a film, as opposed to like TV. It's definitely ambitious, because you think about like Game of Thrones, and I think that originally they were spending something crazy like $10 million per episode of the first season,
Per
and then now
episode?
it's like stretched to a crazy, and there were like 10 episodes each
That's
season until
It's like an hour,
this
right?
past one.
Like hour plus.
Yeah. So I mean, when
Crazy.
you're thinking about like the budget per minute on TV, it's like I don't know. There's more money per minute if you've got a longer run time.
I think it's because they I don't know, I feel like with TV there's more success in it,
Yeah.
but at the same time it's also like hit or miss. Like what if it's season 1 and then you don't get renewed for the next one? So there's
Right.
more of a gamble, but then at the same time once you make a movie, that's it.
Yeah. It either tanks or it goes
Yeah.
well.
I mean the same thing can go for show, but I think shows have a little bit more like more flexibility, I guess, in that sense. Just because like more people will be able to watch it. Or like what if I don't know how to explain it, but like that's just what I feel.
A series of unfortunate events.
Ugh.
I thought the Netflix reboot was really well done.
I loved it. Yeah.
I have to finish that show
Because the books are short. The books are all.
They're doing more
they were so
too,
good.
right?
Yeah. No, but what I'm saying is, I think it was better because the books have a ton of nuances in them. So by making a show, they're able to dedicate more.
The
screen
writing
time
is
to it.
super good for that show. Like the dialogue is
Yeah.
so smart. Like
That's
I
just what the
prefer-
book is. The book
Yeah.
is really smart.
No, it
That's what
definitely
the
is.
movies were
well,
missing.
no, like the
Self-referential.
yeah,
Mhm.
very very
I
self-referential.
prefer streaming television to a
Yeah.
film experience.
And then he just like slowly look at the camera.
Yeah, I
it was
definitely
really good.
felt more of the author's touch in the TV show.
He did have
Yeah.
a bit more of a say in it too, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Jim Carrey's
His character was great.
Count Olaf was great, but NPH I think is a little bit more true to what that character would have
It's
been.
more.
theatrical.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say like Jim Carrey's is a little bit more like crazy. Like yes, theatrical, but not in a sense where it's like menacing. It's just more like very cartoon character.
Yeah,
Whereas like
yeah.
NPH's character, at least from what I've seen,
Creepy.
seems creepy and a little bit more villainous.
Yeah.
Which is what Count Olaf was.
Yeah, exactly.
He wants to kill the children.
Mm-hmm. Like
Take
you see
their
more
fortune.
of that. Take their fortune. Yeah. Man, I know I need to finish that show. I think I'm
Yeah.
only like on the first, and they're gonna do season 2 for that, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So like, I don't think they could have done all 13 books in one season.
Oh,
What they did, how many books did they spread out in that one season?
4, and
Four?
then each book got 2 episodes for an hour total.
I think that's smart. I think that's really smart in when doing a book series.
Yeah.
You pay a lot, like you said, you pay a lot more attention to that one individual book, and you're able
Yeah.
to elaborate more.
That's like what the movie failed in. They put 3 books.
Yeah.
And it was just it
Was it
took out a
3?
lot of it. Yeah. 3
Oh,
books
'cause
in
it
2
was-
hours.
The beginning, and then it was the window,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was
no,
the uncle, and then the window, and then the
Yes. No, it's just the window.
no, Uncle Monty too.
No, yeah, that was before the window.
Yeah.
It's 3 books.
But then the
Mhm.
ending was with the wedding.
Yeah, they took like the ending of the first book and kind of
Oh, okay,
attached
yeah,
it to the
you're
end
right,
of the
you're
third.
right.
Yeah.
There's like a YouTube video about it too.
Where it's
There's
like a-
there's so many like film, I don't know, theorists you would say on YouTube.
I like those. Those are fun.
Yeah.
I guess one thing that we could kind of talk about, because we have a little bit more of like detail in it, is American Gods. And every time I bring that up, I mean, like, you understand it. We're gonna be coming from
Yeah, I
completely
know
else.
what's happening. Wait, are you gonna spoil it for me?
No,
Okay.
we'll do our best not to spoil it.
All right.
We'll just kind of like,
Because for the
discuss.
viewers or listeners, I'm currently listening to the audiobook, which is really hard with this book because you have to really pay attention. I have
Yeah.
to rewind it a lot
Mhm.
whenever I'm like, I get distracted for a second. So then it's 17 hours long, and I think I'm like 4 hours into it, and I already feel like everything has happened in it.
yeah, and
Mm.
yeah, she was like
Crazy.
telling me where she was about halfway in the book, maybe.
But it's 4 hours on my audiobook.
It's like, okay, low key spoilers, but it was when she ends up, Shadow ends up at Cairo.
Oh.
So that's still about halfway.
I don't think so.
A third of a way?
I think it's like a fourth of a way.
A fourth?
No, it's a third.
It's a third.
It's a third.
Yeah.
Okay, let me look at my audio.
So basically, for the listeners who have not either
Have you
watched,
met the
read,
never
or
mind.
I'm fine if you
well-
spoil a little bit for me.
The Native American woman.
yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, then it's a third.
Past that. Yeah,
Okay.
it says I'm on 8th chapter of
you
22
listening right
chapters. Oh, is it on?
I'm like, who else is talking in here? So for those of you who are listening who have not heard of American Gods is originally a book by Neil Gaiman, and it's basically where mythology essentially comes to light. Gods and goddesses walk among us, and the ones from old mythology like Norse, Greek, Egyptian, whatever, they are slowly dying out because people are believing in them less and less, and these new gods are arising, like
Television,
internet, radio. Some of them are called media, technical boy, Mr. Business, stuff like that. So these characters are essentially personified because we believe in them and because we like put so much into these. And so we follow this one character named Shadow Moon, and he's kind of caught in the middle of the two of them. And honestly, I find myself really recommending this book to everybody at work now.
Did we ever find out why he's called Shadow Moon?
Yes.
Yes,
okay,
you do.
good.
Yeah, it's a cute little story. But Stars picked up the show. So I had a Stars account for like a week.
Yeah.
Oh my! You watched it already?
Yeah, we
Did you
binged
watch
through it.
We
binged
did.
through it. It was
I am
really
so
good.
left out.
It was
Wow, should I just
good.
leave now?
No,
Should I just slam the door behind me?
No, please don't. Please don't. It was really, really good, honestly. We'll kind of
I
get into it
wouldn't
a little bit. The book and the movie, in my opinion, were very. The movie, the show was very good.
Again, I
Distracted
wouldn't
me.
know.
But we'll kind of like we'll go into it a little bit more. But
Is there
For
background
me-
music right now?
yes,
Oh, is there always background music?
there's always background music.
Oh my goodness!
Thank you for thank you for distracting my
I was
illusion.
like, it seems like, oh yeah, I'm like running somewhere. I'm like in a hurry.
I
Like,
know.
I'll
Maybe
have to get
should I
somewhere.
change it? Do we want a little bit
No,
more
it
of
was
a jazzy
good. It
vibe?
was-
Yeah,
No, I feel like
Some jazzy,
yeah,
like
it's not
upbeat.
jazzy. It's like I'm getting somewhere.
I
Oh,
can put
yeah.
on more jazzy
How about
music.
to
It's
go to the
okay.
grocery store? Quick, some milk.
Kind of sounds like like the Powerpuff Girls theme, like they're like fighting
yeah,
villains.
yeah. That's
Oh,
why I
quick
feel like.
side. Do you know that there's a fourth Powerpuff Girl?
Yeah.
What is this? No.
Okay, there was always a fourth Powerpuff Girl.
Yeah,
her
but
name
it
is Bunny. Don't forget Bunny. R.I.P. Bunny.
R.I.P. Bunny. I hate it. Okay.
But you guys remember her, right?
Yes.
Kind of,
She's
yeah.
like the deformed one.
Yes. But then the other girl tried being a Powerpuff Girl too.
But she
the
was
really
never
rich
a Powerpuff
one.
Girl.
Yeah, but she tried to, and then she ended up being a villain.
Yeah.
Right? What was her name? I
Something.
forgot.
Poof poof. Will do.
Moneybags. I don't know.
Moneybags.
The money
No.
bags with a Z.
Yeah, yeah.
Ew, hate it. Did we want a music change? I can do a music
No,
change.
it's fine.
No,
I just noticed.
now I want to do a music change because you
Okay. All right.
we'll do some
heavy rap.
no.
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 Oh, her name was
Hard metal?
Princess Morebucks.
Oh,
More bucks.
You were right.
Close,
Moneybags.
close enough.
There you go. Okay, so as I'm trying to change this music, I'm gonna
You
take.
don't
a little...
have to change it.
No, I'm
You
gonna
can all be
change it.
Powerpuff Girls.
No,
I'll be.
it's too bad. I'm gonna change it.
I'll be Buttercup.
Stop.
You can be
Mojo
Blossom.
Jojo.
And then I guess Blossom's dead.
Okay. So while I'm changing the music, because I'm going to change the music now because you already said it. Really
It was
quick.
distracting. I was like, oh,
Well,
I think I noticed it.
You're distracting from my ad read. That's what you're doing.
Oh my god. Fine.
So really quick, I just wanted to talk about like the best place you can see your favorite artist perform is the unique venue of House of Blues. Have you guys been to House of Blues before?
Yes.
Oh.
No? You have?
Yes.
Yes. It's
R.I.P.
great.
Downtown Disney, but there's still the one in San Diego. So.
Well, the one in San Diego, it's kind of small, but it's pretty much everywhere close to your dream band. It's large enough to have a party. So you can check up you can look at this month's lineup at houseofblues.com. I know that for KCR, we are definitely going to be putting up some stuff that'll kind of show. You cough? Okay, cool. On kcrlive.com, if you go to our website, you'll be able to see, hopefully within the near future, some ticket giveaways for concerts there. So definitely check them out too. But if you're not really feeling the concert-y vibe, and you just kind of want to grab a bite, just like me, I'm starving, I'm hungry.
Do you want to go there? We could go there.
To House of Blues? No.
Yeah,
That's not
let's
what I'm
do
talking
that.
about. Yeah, we're going to go
Oh.
to House of Blues and eat food. No.
You're promoting them, so we should go.
I know how I should. No, I actually, a good place it's kind of close by, and I think would be a better option is if you go to Eureka. It's a new restaurant here, the South
burgers.
Campus. Yeah, it's new actually. It's right on the South Campus Plaza. It's brand
Cross
new.
promotion.
Cross promotion. It opened up, I want to say, in the beginning of the semester. You can get burgers, like gourmet burgers, appetizers, craft brews, and cocktails. If you go over there, it's open every night until midnight, and it's a great way to begin or end the night.
Wow.
Actually.
Also
I wish I went to this
Yeah.
school.
I know, right? Yes, go Aztecs. They actually do. It's kind of cool because I got an email about them, and they do a bunch of stuff even in the morning. Like they have brunch, they have like mimosas.
Ooh.
So sometimes
mimosas?
mimosas. So
Oh.
sometimes I'm gonna go head over there and be like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna need a little pick me up before my class.
Are we still gonna get brunch?
We can go to Eureka. They actually have in the morning. Sometimes they have yoga.
I don't like yoga.
You were talking about doing yoga earlier.
No, I said being in a hot room while you're exercising is like hot yoga.
Oh,
so
okay.
it loosens you up, but I hate hot yoga.
Well, you can also do yoga at Eureka as well if you'd like to go do that.
Oh, I guess I will avoid Eureka now.
No, don't do that. Definitely don't. No, seriously, Eureka is honestly great. I've heard nothing but good things from everybody who's been going there. So gourmet food, lots of fun, and also check out House of Blues. So check out two of those places. They're really, really good people, and they're great fun to campus and also to the radio station. So thank you all for that.
Are you done promoting now?
I am done promoting now. Thank you. And promotion and ad read. Thanks. Thank you for breaking my illusion once more, Paola. Jeez, dude.
But we should go to Eureka. Sounds good.
Yeah.
I want
Except
to.
for the yoga. Let's not do the yoga.
Well, considering that it's like 8:30 at night, it's not going to happen. So
I mean,
Oh.
burgers
You're
and
safe.
beer. Who doesn't love that?
I don't like beer.
I don't either.
Please drive while not intoxicated. That
So
is your
don't
PSA.
drive while
today.
intoxicated.
Yes.
Yes,
Don't
yes.
drive
Don't
while
drive
you're
under the
intoxicated.
influence.
Please don't. Okay. All right. So kind of getting back into
So
it.
books, movies.
Books and movies. Going back into it. So American Gods. Paola has not finished it yet, but
Nope.
I think you will enjoy the series because for me personally, well, like helpful like point to make is that the book and the series do not coincide with each other entirely. Like the series only is like what 8 episodes, right, Cam?
Yes.
It's like 8 episodes and it's like about an hour. But what's nice is that the show takes creative differences and it breaks away from the storyline, which I actually did prefer because I knew I just finished the book when we just started watching it. So I was kind of like, what was nice is that it was close enough to the material where it's like, oh, this happened. Oh, this is what's happening. Like, oh, coming to America, whatever. And then at the same time, there's twists where we didn't expect it. And I think I prefer that a lot more than people being like they need to be by the book.
Yeah, that reminds me of Pretty Little Liars. They, I don't know if either of you have watched.
I want to say like the very first maybe like 3 seasons maybe.
Yeah.
The last time I left off, they found out
Yeah.
and like an identity of A.
Yeah. But like they were right. But they kind of like veer away from the storyline from the original one.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of like are feeling like, oh, maybe we're wrong. Maybe this isn't the person. And then they kind of like did delve more into like they had new characters. They had different plot lines, different stories happening. And I thought that was very interesting. And then they started to like drag out the series until it was literally just in the grave already, but they were still
Honestly,
dragging it out.
that's the thing. I think that there's like some leeway in taking creative liberties, and then when you just start milking it, I think you lose both your audience in the book world and also in the TV world.
Yeah. Well, they had just such a strong audience that it was kind of impossible for the TV producers to like cut the cord on it because it made so much money. Am I cutting it out?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say like during that time of ABC, that was probably their strongest show.
That was always their strongest show.
I'm trying to think of the other shows that they did. That was the only really
That was their big show.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had The Lion Game. They had
The Lion Game, wasn't that also a
that was
book
the same
by
author.
her too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sarah Shepard.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had. I'm thinking of like all the really old ones from like 10
Yeah.
years ago. I don't
Secret
know
Life
why.
of the American
Like Secret Life, that
Teenager.
was also one of their big
Was
ones.
that a book one too, or
It was
was
the one
that
with
just...
Shailene Woodley. I
Yeah.
don't know if it was a
Uh-huh.
book. It might have been.
I don't
And
think
now
I've ever
it's the
seen
one with the lesbian couple with the
Foster.
The Fosters.
The Fosters, there you go.
Fosters, and then the
I was
Not to
gonna
be
say
confused
the
with Foster's Home for the Imaginary
You
Friends.
knew where I was going.
and then Switched at Birth, also big.
The one with
Was that also a book?
No,
No. Okay. So they have their
they
fair.
started making their own original content.
Okay. And are they doing good in that?
Yeah,
Or-
yeah. Now they're freeform.
I
so-
think their failing is freeform though.
it was just a weird, but it was good to like kind of move away. I can see why they did it. They didn't need to do it in my opinion, but it's kind of good to move away from the ABC family.
But I mean, like in terms of
Image.
like making original content, a lot of their stuff is not
Like
holding up. Like I don't even know. Like I always see like advertisements for all the freeform stuff, and it's very much like as if you're like walking through like a teen section in a bookstore.
I think that's what they were going for.
But it's not a lot of it's popular. Not a lot of it's like enticing. It all looks like it's the same exact genre.
I mean,
That's the point.
you're also like 21 to show. Just saying.
Well, no,
you're
no, no,
kind of
I'm
maybe
just-
beyond their core
Okay, yeah,
demographic.
I guess you're right. But I mean, like I don't hear anybody else talking about.
I hear people
freeform
talking about
shows.
Switched at Birth, and I hear people talking about the Fosters.
But that shows have been around for a while. I'm talking about
Yeah.
new
New
shows.
shows?
What new shows do they have?
They
I don't
have
know.
like there's that one Bella Thorne show that they're trying
You
to
have a
get
Bella
over.
Thorne show?
Yeah.
Mm.
And it's not Shake It Up either.
Oh Lord,
It's like
Shake It Up was actually
actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, it's a book because I keep seeing her face in the teen section. It's basically this girl ends up being famous by accident because her best friend wanted to be famous, and then she ended up going to audition, and then she ended up getting the audition, and then she falls in love with whoever is the...
Okay, that never happens. You never like accidentally go to audition and like end up famous.
Yeah.
Like,
No, but that's basically the basis of it. And she's like, it's her as a famous person now, whatever.
oh, Shadowhunters is also on there.
Yeah.
It's listed in my
Has
popular.
anybody like read that? Because
Nope.
I did not.
they have a really, really
Big fan
Big
base. City of
fa-
Bones.
very big fan base, but also a very long
Or-
series. They
Yeah.
have like
Mortal
two different series.
Instruments?
No, I think both of them kind of fall under the same, or is it not?
I don't know. I didn't read them, so I wouldn't be the person to ask.
Shadowhunters and I think Mortal Instruments are they coincide with each other, but they're two different series, I think.
Huh.
Because there's two different series going on that I've seen come out. Like one's still ongoing, the one that is finished, and I think Shadowhunters was the original. Was that a series first or was that a movie first? Because I thought there was a movie. Paola.
What?
I thought that Shadowhunters was a movie, or did that start off as a series?
My friend works on the show, so that's the only reason I know about it.
Oh, okay. I mean, I heard the newest one was good. I think that's the one that has Harry Shum Jr. in it, right?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Oh, is it Famous in Love? The one with Bella
Yes,
Thorne?
I think so.
Actually, Young and Hungry is actually the one with Emily Osment. That's gotten really good reviews.
I think I've heard. Is that also on Freeform?
Yes.
I didn't know that was on Freeform.
It doesn't seem. I feel like it's on a different.
I just feel like whatever I see advertisements coming from Freeform, they're trying to go for what. Remember, like back when like Twilight was a thing, and all we kept getting in terms of both books and also just like movies was just vampires. Like when Twilight came out, Vampire Diaries was a thing, and they were originally a book. Like Vampire Diaries was a book. I actually remember reading it, and then the series came out, and I was like, "Oh, this is weird." And it was also like way after the fact. I was like, "No," but like during that time area, I feel like they're trying to do that again with Freeform, but it's just more like drama based.
I wonder what the new thing will be, because after Harry Potter, there's a ton of
Superhero stuff.
Well-
I say superheroes. That was the big thing after that.
mythical vampires were a trend, and then dystopian.
Oh, no,
apocalypse.
you're right.
was
Dystopian.
huge.
But yeah,
but
I
I
don't
think
know.
most recent has to be the superheroes.
For sure.
For sure, the superheroes for now.
Maybe we're going to space now.
Oh,
They
that's
tried that though.
kind of.
Because Star
Interstellar.
Wars.
Star Wars
back,
is
and
back. Valerian. I don't know how well they did, and they were originally a comic book.
Blade Runner, October 6th.
That one with
Sequel. I mean, Blade Runner 2049.
Mila Kunis.
Oh,
Didn't do
Jupiter
well.
Ascending.
Jupiter Ascending.
More like
with,
Jupiter Descending.
Ugh.
And then Ready Player One.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like
That's
Futuristic?
Tron.
I
Yeah.
think futuristic is
So
what they're going
futuristic.
for.
Stranger Things. Is that kind of? That's not
No,
space though.
that's a
at
jump
all.
back
That's,
though. That's 80s
Yeah, yeah.
Nostalgia.
True.
Nostalgia's huge.
nostalgia.
Nostalgia's always huge.
You know what? I think if anything, we're heading towards that, like nostalgia / like 80s.
That's true because they're all adaptations. From
It-
the
Yeah.
80s. 80s,
that
80s
kinda
is also
era.
a huge trend. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's why they.
I think that's coming back.
And it was 80s,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because that's such a huge era for us for some reason.
I know. I forgot there was like an article somewhere. They were basically talking about like why do we like 80s adaptations? Like why specifically that time?
They
'Cause
remind us
obviously-
of a better time,
Have
of a better era.
a better era. But there's success in that. Like I think one of the first ones that started doing that was Stranger Things, the set in the 80s.
Yeah, I think what people really liked about it was it's kind of in a pure time.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, more innocent time.
I think
As they're being ripped apart by monsters, it's fine.
right. But I think for both Stranger Things and also by conforming to an 80s theme, it helps a lot with the horror aspect of that because like you see these kids who are your main characters, and it's like they're pure in this era that it's okay, but now that like there's something that is like an anomaly in that, you know, I think it kind of adds to that, which is I think fantastic, and I guess that's why. So
I think a lot of those like horror shows, films did really well in that era too.
Yeah.
For some reason, The Fly keeps coming back to me, and also the one with Sigourney Weaver, Alien.
Yes.
Alien, yeah, that's true. Actually, you know what was the last one that came out for Alien? Was
Covenant this year.
Was it Covenant?
Yes.
Yeah. And then just recently they announced that Jamie Lee Curtis is coming back to reprise her role in the Halloween movie.
Oh, really?
And that's coming out, I believe, early October,
yeah, it just had really good horror films.
which didn't help us growing up. Unless you like that stuff. No, it scarred me. They've been trying, as much as I honestly hate it, they've been trying to do that with Chucky. I think they tried putting out a movie earlier this year and it just did not get anything. I'm like, thank God. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I feel like we're moving away from like a genre where it was just straight up gore for a long time, like Saw.
Yeah.
Although
But
Saw
that's
is getting
coming back
rebooted.
too, though.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of the movies recently have been very like flashy, a lot of animation, a lot of just a lot of things that are happening to the screen, to your face. They're trying to really get your attention, but then back in that day, they didn't have all those flashy effects. It was kind of a
It was based on the
it was
story.
simple. It
Yeah.
was the story. It was simple. Like they didn't try to do too much, and I think that's what kind of they're trying to do now. Like Stranger Things, like it's not a lot.
No,
Like
it's
it's just
not.
one monster.
Telekinesis.
Yeah, telekinesis and one
telekinesis,
monster.
like simple, like
and like but then like if you think about it as like a shady government people, kind of like a weird town.
yeah. They don't try to make it too complicated.
Yeah. Same thing with it too. It's like you have one main monster in a really quiet town that's a little bit
But also, who is the
Creepy.
true monster?
Pennywise.
It's a true monster.
It's Pennywise. I'll kill you. Oh, I don't like that. Yeah, I think Paola, why? But I think it's really interesting that we low key moved away from the topic.
We low-key, we
I
very
know
much
we
moved
very
away
much
from
moved
it.
away from it. I'm sorry, y'all. But I think it kind of shows that when
TV
it comes
shows?
to TV shows and movie adaptations, like I don't know, like I guess they do have those creative liberties. I do kind of want to like pick your brains at the fact that like what is the next trend that's gonna come, because like it's not just in movies, it's also in books too.
Is it?
Yeah, I remember like, but it was either one or the other first. Like when it was like Twilight, it was first with the books, and then it started reaching over to the movies, and then same thing with Dystopian.
Yeah.
It was Hunger Games, and then it moved over to the movies, and then with that it was like also like Maze Runner and Divergent and stuff like that. And then now it's obviously comic books moving into movies and
I
stuff
feel
like that.
I still say space.
You still think you're still?
I
standing
think
in
that's
space?
over with. I think that's done. I think
think so.
nostalgia is still like the big thing. Like what's it called? La La Land, also nostalgic.
Oh, you're
going back to a
right.
different era.
Wait, no, wasn't that supposed to be like modern times?
Yeah, but like the feeling of it. Yeah, musicals. Oh, I would love musicals to come back.
They're slowly coming back.
Kind of. Beauty and the Beast was the most recent one.
Hamilton was the big one,
That's not a movie adaptation.
but I mean, like,
I meant movie adaptation.
oh, okay. I was
Well,
like,
the reason why I said like space and kind of sci-fi is like because Artemis Fowl, they just announced that Disney's going to bring that back, and then Wrinkle in Time next year.
oh, really? Those
David
were so
Duvernay.
pretty. Those
Like
were
Oprah
pretty.
and
What
Mindy
another
Kaling and
name.
Reese Witherspoon.
I didn't read those books growing up, but just working at a bookstore, I know that those are award-winning. Those are stuff that like kids pick up still to this day because like they need to read it in class, and then still
Very
the,
good.
the writing is still really good. So that's good.
But I still think concerning what becomes popular in books, I feel like when something becomes popular in like in what they choose to adapt, what becomes popular in movies, like when Twilight came out, there were already a bunch of vampire books out there. It just so happens that because
That one was
Twilight
the
came
success.
out, the like the TV execs and the movie execs were like, oh my goodness, this is doing so well. Let's look at any other material that's concerning that genre and see like what is also being picked up. So they
Yeah.
speak because a lot of the adaptations that came afterward, there were already books written about them. They just needed to be looked at.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true.
Yeah.
Like I said, like Vampire Diaries was a thing that existed even probably before Twilight's time, or if not around the same time, like the book
Yeah,
was
they're-
actually come out.
Yeah.
And then eventually they're like,
And
we should
True
turn it into
Blood?
a show.
True Blood also.
Yeah.
Was, yeah.
There was another one too. There was a bunch of them that came out. I remember
Mm-hmm.
when that was just like a thing, and I remember
Yeah.
trying to pick up one. There was like one or two series. I was like, okay, I like it, but for me as a reader, it just felt all the same. Like it was
Yeah.
just the same story over and over again. And I think that's kind of the bad thing about book to movie adaptation. It's like for me, like the story has to be good enough for me to want to watch it.
Yeah.
Like American Gods, for example, I loved the book so much. I was like, okay, yeah, let's see how this show fares off. And the show honestly did a really good job.
Well, I wouldn't know.
Well, once you finish the book, you can watch it with us. I'll make another Stars account for you.
I can have like 3 different emails. I can make my
There you
own.
go. The only thing is that it's like the Stars account's only like a week.
Yeah, I can watch it in a week.
Yeah. What do we do? Like what? We probably did like
we
2
watched
episodes.
like 5 in one day
That's
or
such
something
a lie.
crazy.
No, we did like 2 episodes one day, and then we did one day, like an episode after that.
No,
day.
we
Yeah,
watched
we
like 4 in one day,
No, we
Tisha.
did not. That's such. No, we did not. At Kevin Borja, if you're listening, who was also watching
can
with
message
us,
him.
and also message him. Did we
We
watch 4 at
totally
once?
watched
We
4
totally
in
did
one
not
day.
do that. That's 4 hours.
Tisha, I was at your house all day. We didn't leave until like midnight. We were like,
don't
we
remember
finally called
that.
it. We're like, all right, time to watch it.
Maybe I was too inebriated. You
and
know
the
what?
truth comes out.
You know what? Never mind. Maybe you're right. I still remember the show. The show was really good.
I mean, to quote media, like she said, like what's better about like TVs? It's kind of like religion because you get time and attention. It was like,
When did you say that? In the book or in the movie?
Because she said with screens in the show, she says like
yeah.
the way that everyone looks at a screen now, it's better than like worship because it's like you have their time and you have their focus, you have their attention.
Yeah. Was that
which
when she
is
was
a
Lucy?
commodity. I think she was talking. Yeah, it's like when they.
When she was Lucy, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. Did Kevin say something or no?
No, he might be studying because he's off at Columbia. Congrats.
Shout out to Kevin McBorha.
Shout out to Kevin.
They said McBorha, like a McDonald's.
Like
Kevin
McBorha.
is also tuning in. He said, we watched 4.
Yes, thank you, Kevin.
Oh. I don't remember watching 4. They all melded into each other. As my
Our
did my
favorite,
drinks.
Shell
Oh.
Shell fan.
What?
What do we, inside joke?
Oh yeah, no.
Wow. Okay.
No,
I
no,
get
no,
it.
you're
I'm
part
not
of
on the
it. You're part of it,
inside. I'm
Paola.
not on the
Yeah, Kevin asked earlier. The books that we're talking about, are they about aquatic mollusks or a movie about oceanic bivalves? He's obsessed with sea life for whatever reason, and yes, I'm calling you out, Kevin. I don't even need to see that you tweeted me.
You know, I think that
Kevin says hi, friends.
Hi, friends.
like the Little Mermaid is supposed to be adapted soon, so you know.
There's our tie-in.
There you go.
Tisha, Kevin asked if you could answer his question.
I just did.
I didn't listen to the question. So
The
could you
question.
repeat the question.
Okay. At Kevin Borja, Kevin 20 Kevin Teen / Kevin Nick or Kevincible. Are we talking about books about aquatic mollusks or movies about oceanic bivalves? And the answer is neither. We're not going to talk about that on my show. That is the most you're going to get in terms of a shout out.
He says, how dare you?
How dare I?
Yes, you. No. At first, he just put it as a message, how dare you? So I thought he was talking to me. And then he said, not you, Tisha, you.
We love you, Kevin.
Delayed clarification,
You
but
can call in
appreciated.
studio phone 619-594-6982. If you start talking about bivalves, I will hang up.
Why is that?
I don't know why. He thinks they're fascinating. Not to say that they're not
There
fascinating.
is already the best underwater aquatic show of all time, SpongeBob SquarePants.
Absolutely.
So I don't
That's
think we
Absolutely.
need any more.
You're not wrong.
Observant in
You're not
yellow and
wrong.
chorus is he.
SpongeBob SquarePants. Absolutely.
The accurate and completely non-fictional
Yes.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
You know that they made comic books for it?
No.
There's a SpongeBob
There's
musical.
comic book.
Yes, there is.
Yes, I do remember that being
Soundtrack came
thing.
out.
Has there been, to kind of slowly bring it back into the topic, have there been any like books that have gone to Broadway adaptations besides the obvious like Disney
ones?
Oh, didn't Horns was one, or no, that was a movie that Daniel Radcliffe did.
It was a movie. Yes.
Yeah, there was a lot of
Books
Trying to think of
too.
things.
besides
Les
Les
Miserables.
Miserables.
yeah, Les Mis. I know there was.
Ooh.
What was the other one that he did? The other one that Daniel Radcliffe. You went to that one.
Yes, I did.
What was it called though?
Cripple of Inishmaan.
Was that there was another one that he did that? Never mind.
I don't know.
He was like a centaur in it or something. I
Oh,
don't know.
Equus?
Equus, yes.
I don't know if that's a book though. It
It
might
is.
be. Oh, okay.
It's a see. It's the thing. Is it considered a book if it's a play, or is it just a play on its own?
I don't know.
You know. But yeah, that was one that I remember him doing, and I just remember it because I see it at work, and I'm like, oh, that's the one that Daniel Radcliffe did, and apparently he was a slight bit not wearing clothes. So
Yes. The
Yes.
premise is interesting. I will not share on radio.
okay.
There's been
Well-
a lot of that have been from, like, books turned into movies, turned into musicals, like Matilda.
Oh yeah, that's a great example.
Wicked. Wicked was a book. It was its
Yes.
own book. It wasn't based on like the book was based on Wizard of Oz, but the musical wasn't based on Wicked, the book.
Yes,
That's one.
Yes, yeah. I think
And I
that
felt like the musical is better than the book.
I couldn't. I
couldn't
tried
get to the
picking
book.
up. No, I think it's the writer. Sorry, but that writer. I tried picking up another book. He did Alice in Wonderland, and I was like, oh my god, Alice in Wonderland is great, because I knew of the story of Wicked, and then I tried reading through it, and I was like,
Wicked?
no, that his
Wonderland?
Alice book, and I was like, ooh, no, it's a dry book.
Yeah, I didn't like Wicked either.
I didn't read Wicked, and I've only seen bits and pieces of the
Yeah.
actual.
Which is sad because the book turned me off the musical, but I really liked the songs, and I ended up watching it like 2 years ago on Broadway, and it was really good.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But there's been a lot of movies to musical, like Mean Girls is becoming a musical.
That's true. Didn't they also do that with Legally Blonde?
Mm-hmm.
That was a really good musical.
Yeah.
I watched
Andrew
it on
always talks about
MTV
that.
when it premiered.
Really? They
Back in
also
the day
did-
when MTV was huge.
I know. Man, there was also another one that they were doing. Was that the most? They were doing another one too. That's kind of like Mean Girls, but not Mean Girls. It's like the
Heathers.
The Heathers.
Oh,
yes.
Heathers came out. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good.
What is that?
Heathers
It's
is
a
in the
movie.
80s. Winona Ryder.
Winona Ryder.
Winona Ryder. Is like part of this like
She's
clique
a
of Mean
strange
Girls.
girl, though.
And
Strange girl.
She's a strange girl who becomes part of the Heathers.
The
Because they're all
Heathers.
named Heather.
Ew.
and then they all
Die.
Is Mean
Yeah.
Girls like the early 2000s version of the Heathers?
kind of.
Less
Heathers is
gruesome.
darker. Heathers
Yeah.
is
Oh,
like
is it really?
yeah,
Which is
Heathers is
great.
really like messed up in some of
Yeah.
it, but it's very
Ooh.
very funny.
Since we're kind of like talking about 80s movies, what would you see like to come back as a Broadway for 80s?
Broadway for 80s?
80s
Or just
inspired.
theater?
Like
Back to
theater,
the Future
theater.
the musical. I'm just kidding.
That
I was
would
gonna
be
say
interesting.
Breakfast Club.
Oh,
That'd
that'd
be
be a great
interesting.
musical.
That would be a really cool musical.
Pretty in Pink.
Oh, it's sad.
Ooh, that'd
It's
be
a cute movie.
Just like all of the... What's the...
John
term?
Hughes.
John
gonna say
Hughes.
Molly
I was going
Ringwald.
to say like... What's the... Like all the Molly Ringwald... Like what's the term for those...
Rat Pack?
Yes,
Not
Rat Pack. It's Rat Pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mom loves those. My mom loves those. She made me watch Pretty in Pink with her. I'm like, yeah, that's really cute.
Or
But I
16
think
Candles.
16 Candles.
Or Molly Ringwald.
I know, right? It's funny because like I only know that name because my mom loved her movie so much. So seeing her come up in Riverdale, I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, it's Molly Ringwald.
Oh, she was in Secret Life of the American Teenager, too.
I didn't watch that show. That's why
I love that show.
I didn't watch that show.
Up until a certain season. And
I think
Shailene Woodley
the mo-
became really annoying.
So, we have about like what 5 minutes left.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since we're kind of talking about shows again, what would be your favorite modern adaptation for book to either TV show? So we'll do either your favorite book to movie and your favorite book to show. Both of them looked at me like,
Well, book to show, I really, really liked Series of Unfortunate Events. I just think it was
Yes.
really, really well done.
Okay. So that is your show answer. Do you have a movie answer? I think for me, as you think about it, my
Harry
favorite
Potter.
movie one oh shoot. I put myself in a hole because you just
Cameron,
said
were
Harry
you
Potter.
gonna
Harry Potter for like the book to
Oh.
film.
Book to film.
I really liked-
Uh,
I think I was going to say the second Hunger Games, but I think I'm just saying it because the first one was so bad. So in comparison, it's really good.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I think the second one was still the strongest out of the three.
yeah.
Because I remember watching the third one, and I was like raging. I'm like, what is this? And I
What's-
didn't even read
what's
the book.
happening?
Yeah.
Ooh, a musical out of a book. Sorry, I'm going back to that. But
You're
The
fine.
Color Purple.
Oh yeah.
So good.
Really? I didn't know that.
So good.
Oh, I only knew it was the book. I didn't know that it also turned to a musical.
Amazing.
Interesting.
Like, watch it.
Okay, it's a musical. Okay, extra can be your musical answer, but if you have a movie answer. Okay, you said you
Ooh, one that I hate. Ella Enchanted.
didn't like Ella Enchanted.
I love Ella Enchanted as a separate being, but
but not like direct.
as an adaptation of the book, it was terrible.
Really?
Yeah.
I watched it first. I didn't realize it was a book later on.
The book is so much better.
Is it really?
Yes. So much better.
Interesting. I didn't
And
know
like
that.
I love the movie because it's so like campy and so like out there
Mm-hmm.
and then it's great as its own thing. But if you want to say like it's an adaptation of the book, I'm gonna no.
No,
No. The book is so much better.
that's fair.
Like I always get so many feelings
Oh.
when I'm reading it.
Start crying. Okay, wait. So Cam, you gave a movie. Do you have a show?
American Gods.
American Gods.
Very well done.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't know.
Well, once you watch, you'll agree.
Oh.
My answer has to be American Gods for the show. For the movie, man, I mean, to not count. I mean, obviously Harry Potter is like out there for me too. I think for as of late, it did a pretty good job for me. And I hate scary movies. I'm gonna go back and read the book, and I feel like my answer might change after reading it. But in terms of like understanding that that's a book to adaptation, a movie like movie to adaptation, I want to say it was probably my favorite one for a successful movie. I thought it did great.
I'm trying to think of the book to movie.
There's another one too, as we're like slowly wrapping up. The Martian.
Yes, that's a
Have
book
to
to
read.
movie.
Have to read the book because that's supposed to be our next one in our book club, which we haven't done yet.
Ooh, favorite book to movie. Mean Girls.
Was that a book?
Yeah, It
Really?
was based on a book.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was an okay book. I think it was like a self-help guide. But Tina Fey. Tina Fey.
Was it really?
Yeah, I'll look up the title. It was
I
like
didn't know
teen
that.
queens and drama. Teen
What?
Queen bees
I
and
had no
drama.
idea.
Yeah.
I'm mind blown now because I genuinely did not know that.
Mean Girls.
That's crazy.
book.
Cam, any last ones? Because we're gonna wrap up pretty
Can't
soon.
think of any.
Can't think of any.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I just hopped up.
What is his not hashtag not my Roderick?
What?
Because
Yes.
so there was one. So there are two different series.
They, like,
for that.
rebooted it.
They rebooted it within not even like a decade has passed. It's like, and people got pissed. They're like, "What? Are you serious?" And it's still following, I think, the same storyline as the books.
Ah, yes. Queen Bees and Wannabes is a 2002 self-help book by Rosalind Wiseman. It focuses on the ways in which girls in high school form cliques and on patterns of aggressive teen girl behavior and how to deal with them. And then Tina Fey turned it into a successful sleeper hit.
That she started herself. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, there's a little bit of tidbit information that I didn't know, and now you all know. So
Yes, you're welcome.
thank you so much.
If you
And
learned
also-
anything today, that's it.
that's it. That's the only thing.
That's it. And also that I still have not watched American Gods.
And that Paola will watch American Gods
Eventually, maybe.
Eventually,
We'll see.
hopefully. Okay. Well, as our time's coming up, I just want to say thank you for being on air with me, Paola and Cameron.
You're welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Genuinely, I'm really happy that Paola was able to be here in the live studio.
Yeah.
As your little break comes to an end.
Yes, I'm leaving soon.
I know. But you got to hang out with us here at
Yeah.
SDSU.
Now we'll get some food.
Heck
Right, Cameron?
yes. All right. So as we're deciding on like the food aspect of what we're going to be doing later, I just want to say thank you all for tuning in. This has been KCR College Radio, the award-winning sound of state here at San Diego State University. Remember, you can tune in at AM 1610 for everybody who lives on campus. KCRlive.com/the TuneIn app worldwide 24/7. We stream on there. And then we also are at all of the social medias at KCR College Radio, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Also Snapchat. We also have a Snapchat as well. So that has been it from us here at KCR. My name has been Tishamora, and this has been my show, Tishtalk. Again, you can follow me at all my social medias at KCR Tishtalk. That's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, where this show, as well as last week's show, will be up on there. So you guys have a good night, and we will see you all next Friday at 8 p.m. Have a good night.